Hello everyone, Gruntlord6 here. So today was the last day of Hearthstone Duels and it was retired unfortunately, so that's Tuesday, April 16th. And rather than just let it get to me and be upset because it's one of my favorite modes, I decided to go through this series where I played pretty much as much duels as possible, going through all these different kinds of decks and recording the gameplay so we have a record of what duels was like, all the different decks I play against and play with, all the different hero powers and abilities and all that fun stuff. So as you can see, we have 6 different heroes to choose from. I'm just trying to kind of make my choice about which hero I'm going to go with. So we end up going with Invigorating Bloom with Omu, and then the next step after picking those 3 hero powers is I pick one of 6 treasures. That's to start the game with. When you start a duels run, you just have this 15 card deck plus the treasure that you picked, and that's all you have. So it's actually pretty close to being a standard game of Hearthstone to start minus the hero power differences, and starting with 20 life. I don't usually play Omu. This is the first time I played Omu in, I want to say like 2 years for duels, but I figured it's a good deck. I'm pretty familiar with Dragon Druid, and it's one of my last chances to play it, so I figured this would be the way to go. But yeah, the first game is pretty standard. There's no additional treasures besides the starting treasure, and there's no passive hero powers or anything like that. So very straightforward. The important thing is consistency. So I'm playing against Sai, which is Death Knight. Almost always is played as Unholy. Finally, so it's probably going to be very aggressive. Also, just for context, I've already played this game. I'm just recording this audio afterward just so it's a lot cleaner, and I can make sure it's a lot more concise. But I'm still going to be doing the commentary based on what I'm seeing. I'm not going to have any foreshadowing or anything like that. So basically I'm looking for ramp. Ramp's really important in the early game as a druid, especially in Dragon Druid. It doesn't really look I see it. I do see Nourish, which is always good, but nothing I can play turn 1 or turn 2. Splish Splash Whelp or Emerald Dream would have been ideal. And he goes to the Plagued Grain. Gives him the corpses and the ability to draw, which, I mean, is pretty good for getting aggro early if he draws them. So this is a pretty standard Plague Knight deck. Compare to your plague. So still no ramp. Obviously the hero power is better the earlier you use it, but ramp's also ideal. Play the curse.
I see you are thriving.
And he drew the Plague Green pretty quickly. Usually you don't draw it that soon. Cold Feet is seen pretty often because it stops them from answering your early game aggro. Didn't really see anything to play with it though, so just using the Ghoul Rush. So luckily I don't have to play minions, I can just play Nourish, and then I can hero power with the extra 2 mana. Gets another grain. Very lucky. Because there's only 4 green that you shuffle in. So he's got a lot of pressure from those extra bodies. And then now he's also shuffling in plagues. Which if I draw the Frostbone is going to be a big problem. Luckily I didn't. So I can play the Onyxia, and if I drew the Frostbone I wouldn't be able to, so the game would be over there. But now I can clear out his aggro, and then I can play this for free. Because the lifesteal will only back up a reasonable amount, so you won't have any kind of face damage that can deal 11 damage on turn 5. So I'm in a pretty safe spot. He's got to answer this or else I have lethal. And I've already answered his aggro, so he can't lethal me. And the lifesteal having taunt is really important because it means that even if he summons a bunch of charge or crazy minions like that, they can't bypass it. Okay, so he's just playing Blight Fang to try and get some taunts up because he needs to not take all of that damage to his face. So he's playing the Frost Strike just to clear a Whelp and get a single taunt up. But luckily I have the Spike-tailed Drake in my hand. So it doesn't really matter that he's on that. I can just play that to clear. And then the rest can just go to the base. That was pretty lucky for me and for him, but I was definitely luckier than he was. So we're at our first win, which means we get offered our first treasure. So we're probably going with Dragon Blood here, because the others aren't very applicable. Dragon Blood is really good, often is picked. I like that second package a lot because it has 2 ramp cards in it. There is some questionable synergy with that card. I'm just reading through because some of these I don't recognize, and you'll have that a lot with some of these buckets. But the 6 mana to draw a card, and if it's a dragon I summon, it isn't super ideal. Because even if it is a good dragon, it might be like Splish Splash Whelp or something, and I don't get the battle cry or anything, so definitely not worth it. Definitely just better to go with the really safe second package, which in hindsight is extremely good. Very, very good package. Because extra ramp and I believe another lifesteal. But yeah, this is where things change a lot, because on the second game you each have a passive hero power in play. So Finley is a dual class hero. It's Shaman Paladin, and Bubble Blower is almost always the power they pick for it. And it's usually a Shutterwalk based deck. So same thing as the first game, I still want ramp pretty much as early as possible. I do have the coin, which does change things a lot because it lets you play Nourish just using your hero power. So you can play Nourish on turn 3. Or with Dragon. Yeah, if you Breath of Dream, I can coin Breath of Dreams and then use hero power, I think. Bubble Blower is he presses it, discovers a card that's either Shaman or Paladin, and then he overloads with See, I do think he is Shutterwalk because he's just playing early game battle cries. So I'm just going to hero power, coin next turn into Nourish, and then I can use the extra mana to play Breath of Dreams, which is 3 ramp. Which is pretty good in 1 turn.
What? They fell off the truck.
So hand up 1 minion this time. Can't say I've ever seen that. I think it's probably one of the draft bucket cards. So yeah, we're going into Nourish. Play hero power instead.
Two is company.
So I did the hero power just so I could go into some early taunt. But this kind of sucks early in the run. It only does 1 damage and gets 1 armor and draws 1 card. But it's an 8/12, so it's very difficult for him to get over. He does get there with Lord, but I'm still okay with that. It's a lot more impactful when he uses that on full board. He only used it on 1 minion. It does kind of suck to be down to 10, but this is pretty workable. So we're going to use the Nest Matron because it's literally free at this point in the game. We're going to get rid of Lord Baroff because he'll get rid of his minions. I had to play the Nest Matron first, otherwise I wouldn't have enough mana. That's fine. No, actually, I don't think I did have to play that first. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. It's only 1 damage. So he's using Bubble Blower again. Same thing. If he didn't take the 1 damage, he still would have traded, so no harm there. So now we're just going to heal. This healing is a lot safer than not doing it. Maybe not. Yep, okay. Yeah, so we're going to go for heal. Because he gives us a 5/5 taunt and heals us to full, so even if he clears this, we're still in the safe zone. We still have the other 2 effects if it doesn't get cleared, which is really nice in that circumstance, but we're going to assume he's going to try and clear this, because really, really good card. It can full draw my hand till I'm full, or it can replenish my mana, so I can play 10 mana worth of guys next turn and then immediately recharge all my mana and play other cards, so he pretty much has to deal with this if he wants to keep tempo. Although he's still going to have trouble with the 2/5 attacks on the field, one of them with taunt. I'm in a really good spot here. Not really sure what he would do to come back from this. So he takes a copy of it. I've never actually seen them play Cold Storage. It could be part of the standard deck list. I'd have to check into it, because there is websites with histories of all the meta decks for duels, which is nice. I think I'm just going to play the Alexstrasza to put more pressure on him. Because drawing more cards would be nice, but it's not necessary. And I can just use my hero power and still play the Alexstrasza. Because I'm not going to do anything with 1 mana anyway, so I may as well discount my entire hand, make the Alexstrasza 8, and then play it with the remaining 8, versus spending 9 and just having 1 left over, and then these guys costing more. Okay, so he does have something to answer it. Anachronos was definitely unexpected, but it makes sense. It's a decent short-term board clear. So now I can go ahead and draw cards. And I have a handful of dragons, so now I'm definitely threatening lethal. And I'm not going to overcommit because this is already lethal. Putting more things on the board just welcomes them to empty my hand out. But I do have 2 lifesteals that are free now from summoning all those dragons with taunt, which is also really good because I'm at full health and he's at 5. So I'll get the other minions back very soon, I think after next turn. He hasn't really dealt with them, he just literally shoved them to the side for 2 turns, so not a great spot for him. I also have no idea what's in the sideboard for ETC. I'm literally just guessing it's bad. Like bad for me. So I'm gonna get rid of this stuff because I don't want him bouncing or making copies of any of these cards. And I get to clear his board and get 5 armor. And then he can't fill the board with minions, so I can just play this 1 minion and be safe. Yeah, I think I'll make a copy too. No, just getting the Welfare in my hand. It's extra pressure since he's at 3, and the hero power can finish the rest if he leaves it. I actually kind of forgot these were going to come back, but that's fine. More pressure. Yeah, he's just digging for an answer at this point. Which, I mean, with 8 mana, you could see another card.
Our hardships only strengthen our resilience.
So the problem is this doesn't really clear the board. It makes it really annoying to deal damage to him, but he doesn't have any mana left. And it only cleared a Splish Splash Bolt, which is less than ideal. We've got 13 health approximately. The rounding is a bit odd with the way it does it, but that is definitely still lethal, so he just gives it up there. So round 3, when you are at round 3, you get to pick another treasure. So I really like the Blood Moon. I'm not thinking about Supercharge. Supercharge isn't very good, at least not in this deck, in my opinion. Although it is free, so if it's one of your choices, you might want to pick it. Blood Moon's really good because it gives you lifesteal, so if I summon a board of Dragon Golems, I can give them lifesteal. But Stone of Jordan is a draw card, and this deck doesn't really have a lot of draw power right now, so I'm just going to go with Stone of Jordan. The spell damage doesn't matter, but it gives me 2 attack and I get to draw cards. I really like that last package right there. Yeah, that's... None of the other packages of dragons or ramp in them that I could see. And that has a heal card that discovers a minion. It's got 2 more dragons. I think one of them was Splish Splash Whelp. That was just a no-brainer. I didn't even have to read the other packages. You still should always read packages, especially in modes like this, but sometimes you might miss a card that's actually way better than you think it is. And that's why you'll usually see me go through them in pretty meticulous detail. But hey, you'll see that for a lot of times in this run. This is just one of those times where I knew this is definitely something I want to pick, and there isn't really a whole lot of thought to it. Ramp and dragons are pretty much how the deck works. So we're against Shaman, and they tend to go pretty hard into overload cards because that hero power is just completely passive. It says they don't overload.
The ways of my forest.
So any card that would overload them just doesn't do the overload part, which is really good because they get access to a lot of cheap damage and draw. So I definitely, again, like always, want to see some ramp in the early game. I don't usually have to worry too much about minions against Shaman. They're more about the burn damage. But they still often will play very annoying minions, like spell damage and stuff like that. So, sooner I get online, the better. So we're going to coin the Splish Splash Whelp, just because I have another one next turn, so I can keep going. And if he kills it, the Dragon Blood will actually buff my hand. So it does actually have Totem Golem, which is really good on turn 2, because it's not the overload. So I could Hero Power here, would make everything cheaper. But I actually am just going to play it because I have a handful of dragons, and it is buffing the 2 Dragon Golems in my hand if he clears these. So I intentionally cleared the first Splish Splash Whelp to give the other one 1/1 and trigger it so that if he cleared them both, I wouldn't lose out on the hand buff. So he did clear this one. It doesn't really matter he's going face because I have so much potential to heal right now and to block. So whatever I pick, I'm going to heal. So I'm just going to pick Alexstrasza, I believe, because it's just going to heal me 9. Yeah. So we pick Alexstrasza. It is overkill because I only needed to heal 3, but I've got the Alexstrasza to put pressure on him whenever I'm willing to play it. And I've got the golems in my hand. Alexstrasza Dragon. It's another summon off the Dragon Golem. We're in a pretty good spot here. Probably going to play Emerald Explorer next turn. I think he was offered that as a bucket because it does nothing for him because he already doesn't overload. I think I'm just going to Hero Power and play the Emerald Drake. Yeah, because again, same as before, if I'm going to have 1 mana and I can't play anything anyway, I may as well pay 2 mana, discount the card by 1, and then not have any extra. But that way, next time I need to play a card, they're all cheaper, which is obviously better. That's usually in the deck because it's a 1-drop that gives you an overload card. So this is why it's really good. Our passive hero power is also extra spell damage, so we can do a lot of burn really quickly. So we're probably going to throw down a golem here. Again, same idea. I'll still be left with 1 mana that I can't use, but discounting my whole hand is pretty irrelevant. If he clears the Dragon Golem, he'll actually still buff the other Dragon Golem, and I'll just summon 1 less next turn. But I'm in a really good spot by having so many 6/7s. So it's kind of weird I was clearing this. He probably has some sort of AoE damage to clear these. Yeah, okay. But there's still a golem left. He doesn't want to clear that with his face because that's obviously not great. He doesn't have a lot of health. So I can play these both. I can play Topagazor, ramp 1 and get a Whelp, which puts me in lethal range without committing to my board. And now if I play any nature spells, I can keep getting pressure on him. I think he's just conceding at this point, because I don't really see why he's going in the face like that. Yeah, he's literally just showing me what he has in his hand. Sometimes you do that, just kind of show people like, yeah, I have a lot of damage, but just unlucky. So, very good for us. So, now we get to pick another treasure. We're probably going to go with endurance training because it makes my taunt minions cheaper. I'm just double checking through to see how many taunt minions I have, but it's a good chunk. I'm pretty sure that's the recommended one for this kind of deck building, like what most people pick. But the biggest thing is it makes the Desert Nest Matron 2, so you can actually spend 2 mana and play it, and you'll actually refresh 4 mana, which is more than you normally would get to use in that turn. So it gives you a lot of leverage for your extra mana crystals. It's not my favorite package, but that did have a dragon with taunt, a ramp card, and another card that wasn't a dragon, but it was really large stat-wise. It had Illucia and Reborn, so worth picking. It wasn't bad enough to discount itself,
Versus Mozaki.
or to make itself not be picked.
Your lands cannot compare.
I'm not really sure what this
There is
is.
magic
It's a secret
you do
mage,
not
which you don't really
know.
see very often in modern duels. Definitely used to see it a lot more when Duels was new, which was a couple of years ago at this point. So I'm not really sure what I'm going into, so I'm just, again, going with my standard go of just try to get some stuff in my hand. Some ramp, mostly. We got the Stone of Jordan, so we got some draw power. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've never seen that power picked. So you're gonna see some powers that I haven't seen in years. So when he plays a fire spell at the end of the turn, he does 2 to everything I control, I think including my face. So I'm expecting fire spells, but he's playing Secret Mage, so I really don't know exactly what I'm expecting here. Yeah, I'm just reading the power a couple times because I'm not really sure.
Everyone's a winner.
And he plays this to make his first secret cost 1, but he can't play a secret this turn. So I don't know why he played it this turn specifically.
Stay alert.
So I can't get full advantage, but I'm able to play this and then use the hero power. Because if I use the hero power first, I wouldn't be able to play it. Because I would only have 1 mana. And I generally just want to have more board presence this early in the game versus having the mana flexibility. So I don't know what the secret is, and that's the fun part about playing against mage secrets, is it could be objection to cancel a next minion you play, or it could be counter spell to cancel next spell you play, or it could just be 8 armor. Like, you just really never know with secret mage. But I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, so it's not counter spell. And I can discount my hand,
Not a single
and I can clear one of these. I'm not in an amazing spot, but I'm up ahead in mana, and I got this buffed from the Dragon Blood. And I think it's draw 2 now. It's really big, I know that, because it's already big to start. So I can't play Nixia yet. I can ramp with this. And then I can throw this down, which is a 9-13, and yeah, it looks like it's draw 2. And I can't clear anything, so I'm just gonna go out of space. Because I'm probably gonna have to use this to clear, or he's gonna have to swing the minion into it. Either way, I think it's doing its job. If he clears it, he clears it, I guess. There's not much pinging the minions for 2 would do. But it also gave me some draw and some heal from the armor.
So, what's troubling you?
I'm not really seeing fire, which makes me think that he just got really bad hero power choices for the passive hero power. The ethereal guy in the middle is going to be a little bit of trouble if I don't clear that. So I think I have to clear it. Some capacity. It's going to just keep getting bigger to the point I can't deal with it anymore. Okay, so I'm still not really sure what these secrets are. I guess I'll test here. Is it objection?
This corruption.
Nope, so it's not objection, so I can't cancel the minions I play. So I can leverage this here. Okay, so there's counterspell. I still don't know what the other one is, but that's counterspell. So I can either leverage for more mana, or I can just hero power, but I don't need the mana yet. And having the dragon in my hand makes the golems live, so... Because the golems are... It summons a copy for each dragon in my hand. If you didn't know that already from me playing in the previous games. So I'm in a pretty good spot. I think if he plays a fire spell and keeps a secret, he can clear the 9/4, but it wouldn't clear the 4/8. I don't know what fire spells he plays, though. This is a very odd deck.
I got this.
Yeah, that's big. Big taunt. Still 1 mana secrets because of the minion. At least his first one is. Yeah, just really not sure what I'm playing against, and that's kind of a little scary. Sometimes they can have really, really surprising OTKs and stuff like that that you wouldn't be expecting. I don't really know what he could have as a mage as an OTK like that, especially not as Mozaki, which isn't one people normally play as, but sometimes you see freeze mage as Mozaki.
Stop the rot!
Because they have really good treasure where you can
Stay alert, my child.
go infinite and not fatigue. So yeah, I leverage the extra mana for another taunt here. I'm just gonna go for a draw though. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter, so yeah. It's nice to know what that secret is. So I'm just clearing with the whelps first, because I know that when the whelps clear this, they're gonna die. Because it heals 2 So I cleared his whole board first before I did that. And the Onyxia is still a 10/10. It's still not easy to clear even without the immune. And immune, for those who aren't aware, because it doesn't come up very often, means it can't be damaged or targeted by the hero or the enemy for attacks or abilities. And people try to target Onyxia all the time when it's immune, so I'm guessing most of the opponents don't know that either.
Single scale.
That's fine. That's why I attacked with the weaker one first, just in case that was a thing. There's also a secret that destroys the attacking minion, so it's always good to attack with the weaker ones first. Either they'll die to a flame trap or they'll get destroyed outright with the other one, which you don't see very often, but...
We must stop this corruption.
So there's an objection. I still don't know what that is. That last one there. But he's in a really, really bad spot right now.
Whew, I didn't know you had it in you.
More secrets. I didn't ditch class to get
I don't think this means anything. I think he's just throwing this down. It's literally a Hail Mary. I don't think it's a 0 mana freeze everything or anything like that he could get. Well, he played a fire spell. So I think it's the one of those 3 after attack. Yeah, which doesn't matter. He's way dead. I guess I don't get to find out what the last secret is. It's probably like if I don't deal damage, he draws 2 cards or something. But not relevant. He's dead. So that's another win. So doing pretty good so far. Oh my god, it's Wax Rager. This is really rare. I'm really glad I got this today because I can count the amount of times I've ever seen a Wax Rager in this many years in one hand. Like, Wax Rager is very rare. I'd have to look up what the exact statistics are for Wax Rager. I'll probably put that in the description of the video or in the comments. I'll put it in the comments just so no one sees it by accident. But man, I'm just taking... I did a double take when I see the Wax Rager. I'm just like, wow. It's definitely a card that can carry this whole run. If I see it. It's hard to see Wax Rager, especially as a one-of, but... It doesn't actually have any specific synergy with my deck. It's actually just active a card that... If you see Wax Rager, it's probably worth putting in. I was actually a little tempted to take the Book of Shadows, but, I mean, I'm not going to pass it the Wax Rager. They pretty much need Holy Book or Wand of Disintegration, or specifically to be playing like Priest or a class like that with silence cards to get rid of it.
Omu versus Brann.
So Brann, for example, isn't going to have those. Brann is a dual class hero. He is Warrior Hunter, and I believe the hero power is he draws a Battle Cry minion. So Rocket Backpacks. First thing he plays has Rush, first minion, and he's got his Battle Cry minions cost 1 less, but not less than 2. I don't think this is part of this main deck list, but I mean, it's a good one, right? I'm not sure I would have coined it, but... So I'm not really worried about him dealing 2 damage to my face, and I leave the Nest Matron in hand. 4 mana Dragon Golem is pretty good, though, because it's discounted to 5 from my passive. And then the hero power gets it down again. So I don't have anything to play. I could play the Nest Patron, but it doesn't actually give me an extra mana. It refreshes 2. Or refreshes 2 extra, I should say. So since I have 3 total, it would only have given me 3. So, no Dragon Golem yet. And I don't need to play it if I'm going to play a Dragon Golem next turn, because it's going to fill my board with taunts anyway. None of the Hunter Secrets can stop me from playing a minion, although I think Snipe will kill it when I play it. Which isn't a big deal because the Battle Cry. That's Wax Rager. That's a good card. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for the Dragon Golem though, because Board of Taunts, have Dragon Blood, so if he kills one I get hand buff, and it's pretty much just the best time to play it. Exactly on curve. I'm not really sure what the Brann deck list is, because this hero power used to be a lot more popular when there was the beast that did 1 damage every time you attacked with a weapon. But I haven't seen that hero power used in years, so no idea what his deck is.
Stay alert, my children.
He's not playing anything that would show me what his deck is either. These are all pretty straightforward cards. I'm just clearing the life steal early before I do face damage, so that way he doesn't just heal it away when I clear it later. It does mean I'll lose that Golem, but if I do, it still buffs my hand anyway, so there's not really a downside to doing that. Just 3 damage. Which you would have healed anyway by ramming it in, so... I just took away flexibility by getting rid of it early. And yep, totally fine. Not particularly hurt by that. I'm still not sure what the secrets are.
Not a single scale.
But we're getting a lot of damage. Okay, well, that will clear a golem. Oh. Alright, well, it no longer clears the golem because the golem's already gone. So that cat doesn't clear either of these 2 taunts on its own. Panther? Panther. So I'm in extremely good spot, especially because that's a 9/11 with Elusive and Reborn, and Taunt. So neither player can target that with spells or hero powers. And if it dies, it comes back with 1 health. And without Reborn.
Mess with me.
So I guess he's just playing this to get armor. Just clear my guy. But it's not particularly useful. So we're gonna throw an Ixia down because it's immune. I can clear that without giving him armor. And then these 2 can go face. So unless he has a full board clear that doesn't target, or deal damage. Alright, he does not. He could have had Brawl, and if he had Brawl, I might have been stuck with a Whelp, but he didn't have it, so here we are. These are not great. I don't really like any of these. Astral Portal's okay, but I'm just going to pick Heldalar, because I could either get the hilt, which would give me the full weapon, or I can just use it as a 1-drop. I'm not really liking these buckets. They each have like 1 good card and 2 bad ones, but I'm going to probably pick the middle one because it's got a poison minion and a ramp card. And then I guess I can discount the giant if I draw it. I don't like it, but I don't like any of these buckets. So sometimes that's just what you pick. You pick the least awful. And that's often where a lot of duels decks will start to fail in the later rounds, is they have so many awful cards that don't synergize that they don't work anymore. But so far we're pretty lucky there. So far everything we've drawn has at least a little bit of synergy.
I have a black thumb.
So we don't have a dragon, so we're going to try a mulligan for one, because we need one for the Splish Splash Whelp. And our deck has a lot of dragons, so we should see one. Ideally, in the first 2 turns when we can play the Splish Splash Whelp. Okay, well, a second Splish Splash Whelp is a dragon, and we'll take it. So we have Dragon Blood, Endurance Training. So he plays the Legendary, discounts a card in his hand by 2, and the first Death Rattle he plays every turn gets Reborn, which is pretty good. He's probably going to play a pretty aggressive deck, being Discard Warlock. His Hero Power lets him look at 3 cards in his hand and pick one to discard, then he draws a card. So he's just clearing things out of his hand he doesn't want to discard. So now his choices are, one of the cards won't be one he wants. Okay. The idea is that the bigger your hand is, the less control you have over what you discard, so by getting rid of the coin and the weapon, he doesn't have to pick those to discard. And he got to pick a card he actually did want to discard. Which gave him a lot of face damage in the first turn. I think it was 6? Yeah. 6 damage for 1 mana is pretty good. And it didn't even cost him a card, it just cost him a coin. I'm actually not particularly sure why he cleared the Whelp. I think he just wanted to excavate, I guess. It's a very odd choice with Dragon Blood to clear a 1/1. Maybe just wanted to clear that out of his hand, I don't know. So that one, when discarded, he draws 2. And then he does 1 from his Hero Power. So netted 3 cards off that, basically. He netted 2, but he didn't lose the 1 card. So we can do double Whelp here, because we have a dragon in hand. But we just go for the discount, because I don't want that stupid golem in my hand. And he's never going to get discounted from his effect, because I don't play elementals, so... And I really don't like him, but he's part of that bucket, and this is what you'll see. You'll pick a bucket, and you're like, that card won't come up very often. Then immediately you see it in your opening hand and go, oh, that's great. I guess I'm just going to have to play around this stupid golem clogging my hand the whole game. So I can actually trade with this now, which is nice. He's probably going to get rid of my guy so I don't trade with it. Yep. Which does buff my hands, so... So we'll just see what we draw. Wax Rager! He needs a silencer, he can't answer this. And by getting rid of that, I can just focus on going at his face with the Wax Rager. Because this is the only turn I have to attack from the Stone of Jordan, so might as well use it. I don't believe I have any damaging spells in the entire deck, so the spell damage will never matter. But drawing 2 cards and getting to attack is pretty good. So basically anytime he plays a minion, I can clear it with Wax Rager if I want, or I can just go at his face if I don't. But it's got taunt, so Wax Rager's probably coming in. So we'll play the Whelp first, because it'll discount the Setting Sun by 1, goes on effect, which leaves me with exactly enough mana to use Hero Power, and then it heals me by 6 by ramming into it. So I can use the Titan to draw next turn and fill my hand. Or I can use it to refresh my mana. If I want. Wax Rage is pretty good. It's probably gonna win me this whole game. Although I'm not in a bad spot even without the Wax Rage. He just has a lot of cards. So he got that from the Excavate. I'm gonna clear it now because the lifesteal is annoying and he doesn't get it when he has full health. Because he can't lifesteal over full. This is a taunt, so it's discounted, so I'm picking that. Basically same deal. And I got 2 4-mana elusive taunts. So as you can see, as the run goes on, we get progressively more and more health. 40 is the absolute max though. So we won't be getting more health throughout the run after to this point. That was really nice. Still doesn't clear the Wax Rager though. So we're gonna have that, clear that. Wax Rager comes back. Power of Wax Rager. So we're gonna want to clear the Geode because it's only 1 attack, but it's gonna do 2 to my face and all my minions every turn, and I don't like that because it's basically free board clears for him.
I bestow these gifts.
So we can play these both. And we're just gonna draw because I'm already at full. And I don't need to put any more board presence. So, and I don't think it matters if I burn a card at this point. I think I have all the important cards in my hand. Wax Rager is the only one I probably would worry, and maybe Kazaka-san, but I don't think I'm going to need Kazaka-san at this point in the game. I don't think it's going to go to fatigue or anything like that. So he's finally playing the first Excavate card he got. Which I think he actually has the Snake now. I think he's done it 4 times because he had the Death Rattle that Excavated that had Reborn. It's kind of an odd choice, but I think he generated that off a spell. Yeah, okay, he did get the Snake. So he stole 7 of my health, so I'm at 33 max health now, and he's at 47. So my life still happened first, I was already at full, and then... So yeah, and then I took the 2. So yeah, that's not gonna... I think he thought that if I take damage, that destroys my creature, but he has to take damage on his own turn. I think? No, it just he has to take damage. So, I'm gonna lose this in a second, but... I'm gonna lose my Titan as soon as he takes base damage. So I'm gonna use the effect first. Otherwise I'm gonna forget. That's really good. I think this is lethal. Yeah, we refresh mana. Clear away the minions of space.
I bring life.
Set his health to 15. And because of the weapon, I actually have lethal here. And then yeah, he definitely read the card wrong. It definitely destroys when he takes damage, not when which makes sense because he actually got it from a Discover. So I'm not surprised he played it wrong. I'm probably just going to pick nothing, because having less cards means I'll draw more consistently. Although these are a lot of good dragons. So I'm kind of hesitant here. I mean, it's draw power and it's 2 good dragons. But if I just don't pick it, I just have more consistent draws in the first place. I guess I just go with it because I want the ability to draw from that spell. And it's another Dragon Golem, which is basically a win con on its own half the time, especially if I can ramp it out early enough because of the fact that I have the, I've got the discount from the endurance training power. So I can pretty reasonably play it on turn 4 a lot of the time, even if I don't see ramp. Just because of my hero power. And even if I don't see ramp, if I see a handful of dragons in the golem, I can go to town on some people, and that can win me a game on its own. Turn 4 is pretty hard to answer at a board full of 3/4s. Not impossible, but pretty hard.
Finally, a real fight!
Witness the ways of my force.
I don't really like this hand very much. I'd rather just get rid of Stone and Jordan and the Titan. I maybe keep Dragon Golem, but I'm probably going to get rid of it. I have, I think, 3 or 4 in my deck at this point, so I don't really need to keep it. It's always hard to remember, though, because even though I just looked at the deck list literally a minute ago, I'm just like, I don't remember how many Dragon Golems are in the deck, and I literally just added one in. But I do know I'd added one in at least just right now, so I'm probably likely to see it again. And I got a Splish Splash Whelp, so that's already good. I already see that ram. Alright, he's going pretty aggressive, because he got Cannibalism, which is when one of his guys dies. Adjacent minions get 1 attack. I think it's 1, it might be 2. And then he's also just got 2 attack every turn. Whenever it's his turn, he's got 2 attack. So he just gets to attack my face for free every turn. And until I play a taunt, there's nothing I can do about that. So this at least lets me answer any 1-drops he plays. Well, I shouldn't say that. Any 1-health minions he plays. And it can put in chip damage at his face. And if I'm lucky, he'll just attack it. Which isn't really ideal for him. I'm not sure why he would do that.
Compare to your plague.
Okay, well, I mean, he does it, I guess. So that's a hand buff. I don't know why he did that. He should just be going at my face. I don't think a 1/1 is going to really matter much for him, but it definitely matters that he buffed my entire hand by 4, so 1 for each minion. A 1/1 buff on a Dragon Golem is insane because it scales out for every copy that I summon, which is 2 extra copies right now, but I'm probably going to draw at least 1 dragon. It's very
You
likely.
have earned an eternity of toil.
Well, alright, so we got Plagues for the rest of the
I
game.
see you are
That's pretty good.
thriving.
Because he got it right before I actually draw any Plagues. So all of his Plague cards are basically just free real estate. I immediately draw 1. Goes back in my deck as a Helga. So I'm just going to play this on. Because it gives me another dragon back to replace it. That's pretty good. Let's heal. Heal against aggro is always good. And then it's discounted by my hero power. And then it'll be further discounted by its effect. But having an extra dragon to replace the taunt and also having a discounted taunt with those stats is really relevant. And then if it dies, it buffs all the dragons in my hand again. I'm in a really good spot. Especially considering that's a 6/9 taunt against or 5/9 taunt against an aggro deck. And yeah, he uses random stuff in to get rid of it. I almost forgot he has that. But I don't really think it changes anything here. Yeah, that's pretty good for me. He lost 2 minions out of that. I think we just play a Dragon Golem here.
This desecration of the Titan's land stops here.
And we don't need to play it here, but it's always good to take the free heals if we can. And then if it lives long enough, I can actually just attack his face with it for extra damage. That will also heal me. So he's really pressured to clear that, in addition to all the other Dragon Golems. This is a really bad spot to be in as an aggro deck. Again, I don't think he's playing Blood. I think he's playing pure Unholy. So he can't play Corpse Explosion, which is one of the only ways he's going to clear this board. And even then, I don't think he has enough corpses. It's actually kind of blocked by the foliage of the map, but I'm pretty sure he has 8 or something like that, which wouldn't clear them all. Although I guess he could ram the rush minion into the dragon, but he still doesn't have it. Like, there's no way he has that card.
We only need one.
And he burned one of the flags, so now I don't have to worry about it being permanently in my deck anymore.
Me have that.
Yeah, it didn't really even do anything. He's only clearing one dragon. So I'm pretty comfy right now, given that he spent his whole turn and only cleared one dragon, which also buffed my whole hand. So I'm gonna attack with this first, or attack with that, because it clears it off the board. Then his hero power procs cannibalism, so he gets the attack buff, and then I just blow it up with this, so I don't have to worry about attacking. I don't think I'm gonna be playing Wax Rager, except maybe as like a 7th minion, just in case he clears the whole board, it'll come back. But I think he's just dead, like straight up. He might clear the one dragon. Oh, he's got Palm. It's somewhat helpful, I guess. Hey, look, it's more heal. Alright, I probably should have used that on one of my minions, but whatever. I'm in a good spot. That was definitely a misplay, though. There is no need to do that because setting sun is... So my whelp will clear that. Yeah, I don't think there's a more efficient way. That would have healed me. Okay, I wanted that first. Because the whelp's gonna die no matter what. So I can clear this with my hero power. I'll lose 2 armor, it's whatever. Oh. It doesn't matter, okay. I was gonna use my hero to clear it, but now I can just use this. That was a really good top play. Very good top deck. And I don't think he's dealing 44 to my face, so I'm probably winning this one.
You look tasty.
You are growing strong.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
I'm the brood mother.
So, I mean, just for the point of not healing him, I played the Nixia for the immune, but he had easy. So we get another treasure. Probably the Stone of Jordan again, because it is a draw card. Yeah, Stone of Jordan. I'm gonna just not pick anything. Although I'm gonna read this. Because I don't think I've seen it before. but yeah, it's not good. At least not in this deck. It is definitely not a card I want to put in my deck. And Dragon Tails is a good card, but it's probably going to clog my hand more times than it'll help me. So I should just get rid of it. And that's what I did. Sometimes those empty buckets are a godsend, and sometimes you don't see them at all, and you have to fill your deck with total junk, and that's just life. And the more wins you get without losses, the harder it is to find opponents. Because you only play against people with the same record as you. If possible. You might play against someone with one win difference if they're really stretched for players, but I haven't actually had that happen. So we start with the whelp. That's already pretty good. And Wax Rager. My 1-0 Wax Rager. Which I think is pretty amazing against an armor warrior, because he's going to have a lot of armor that I'll need to punch through. And I don't think he has a way to clear it, because I don't think Warrior has any
Be
silence
one
cards
with nature.
or transform cards. So I think he just loses to Wax Rager. But he had small backpacks that drew extra cards, and whenever he kills something, he gets the skeleton. But I don't think that matters. I think Wax Rager is just the play. I guess we'll see what he plays. Coining. Armor, yeah. So he's got what's called Magnetic Mines, and that means as long as he has armor, he puts a bomb in my deck every turn. And when I draw that, I take 5 damage. And it's very unreliable in the short term, but you could still easily just draw all the bombs in one turn at any point, even though it's very unlikely. It's definitely happened to me so many times where you draw like 8 or 9 bombs in the same turn and you just die on the spot. So I definitely need to answer his armor as quickly as possible. I don't know why he's roping. That's just bad manners. If you have no plays, you should end your turn. If literally no possible plays, you can just think about your play on your turn. Anyway, rant over. So we ramped up. He's got 5 armor. I don't have a way to deal with the armor until I can stick minions on the board. He cleared the welt, which is just gonna buff my hand, and he gets the skeleton. So it was actually pretty smart of him to do that for multiple reasons. But we're just gonna stick Wax Rager before he can get it at my hand or something like that. And the fun part is, even if it gets cleared on his turn, I'll still be able to attack with it on my turn because it summons back immediately. So, yep, 6 damage. Get rid of some of that stuff. We can play the Whelp on curve. That's nice. But I'd rather take the discount on the dragons right now while I can do it. It was nice, though. He's playing draw tower. Warrior also doesn't have that much draw, so it's nice to have something like that in your deck. Played a lot of Bomb Warrior. So we're just gonna fill up the board, because now he'll have to use an AoE clear, which is ideal, because he only has 2 armor, so Sanitize is very hard to use. He has to forge it first. And it costs 5 mana, so you can't forge and play it in the same turn. I don't think he forged it earlier either. He still has options to clear the board. It's just a lot less likely for him to clear it with less armor. A lot of his clear options involve armor. So yeah, he's in a bad spot now, because as I deal damage to him, he no longer has armor, which means most of his cards won't work and his hero power won't work. But he does currently have 2, so I'll get another bomb this turn. So I just click on basic nature, yeah. I don't think I actually want to play anything, because I feel like he's gonna board clear. I guess I might as well just play this. It's a 6/2. Has poison. If he board clears it, I probably don't care. If he doesn't board clear and he plays the big taunt, it's a free clear. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's so unlucky for this dude, oh my god. So, yeah, that's his only way of clearing it, I'm pretty sure. So that's a treasure, and it's one of the best ones for board clearing, because it silences and destroys everything for 5 mana. Yeah, it's not great for him. That's rough. He absolutely needed to clear that. Not clearing that is going to cost him quite heavily. Because he can never stick a minion on board as long as that. And it can always swing face as long as it's around for the next turn, which it always will be.
This desecration.
He'll play a board of 6/7s. I don't think he can clear these either, now that he doesn't have armor. He might be able to brawl, but if he brawls, the Wax Rager lives and one of the guys lives, probably, so... It could just leave Wax Rager. Brawl's pretty random. Yeah, not really sure what he would do now that he doesn't have... Unless he had a second one of Disintegration. Okay, he's healing. I actually forgot he had the skeletons because he hasn't been clearing my minions. Yeah, that's not helpful. I think he's just trying to empty his hand out so it doesn't overgrow.
Do you have this in a bigger size?
Yeah, he's definitely just emptying the hand out. Oh, there's a bomb. Well, only one bomb. Alright. So yeah, I don't have any reason to clear any of his minions. I just go face because he's not threatening me at all as long as I have these spots. I throw this down just in case he's got something cute. And this is honestly clogging my hand. I'm just gonna get it in. I got the Titan to refill my hand if I need to, so I don't really need to worry about overcommitting at this point. And as long as he... as long as I have Dragon Golem, I can refill the hand and then just fill the board again with the Dragon Golem. Plus Wax Rager. Wax Rager's not going anywhere. So that's one unit. But he needs to clear all of them. I mean, he can't clear the Wax Rager, but he doesn't need to worry about the mana very much. Hey, Wax Rager! Yeah, the really hard part about this matchup is just sticking minions on the board, and once you can do that, it's very, very hard for them to come back once you clear their armor. And, Wax Rager has pretty much prevented him from keeping armor, so... I'm really happy to have it. And I'm gonna pick nothing, because I'd rather... Oh, wait, there is some good ramp and a Discover there. Yeah, Crystal Cluster is a ramp card. I definitely don't want the first Fractured and Alterac bucket because yeah, I'm hesitating a lot, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna take nothing because it's better to have nothing than have crap in your deck that you're hoping is useful, but probably isn't going to be. So that's the safer bet to not take the bucket, even if I do really want the ramp card, because even if I'm already at 10 mana, it still summons 3 3/7s with taunt, but just the way the run's been going, I don't think that's very relevant. And if I'm playing a ramp card on turn 6 and I actually need the ramp, I'm also probably not doing super hot. I can discount out the power, but yeah, it's just a worse nourish at that point. So. If I was forced to take it, I would have. Oh my god, it's Wax Rager again. And a Splish Splash, well. And I got Breath of Dreams, good ramp. So Illucia is a pure priest. And it's basically just a burn deck, because her power is every time she plays a spell, she burns me for 1. It's basically like a control burn deck. So yeah, every time she discovers a spell, she gets an extra copy, and then every time she the first time she does it a turn. And then the other one is the first time she discovers a turn, she discounts all the spells in her hand by 1, but never less than 2.
Be one with nature.
So she can play really large and cheap spells and make copies of them just by playing discovered cards. So we just go Splish Splash well because yeah, it's a board presence. They clear it. I get a buff to my hand, even though it's only 2 cards. And I can do board presence if he doesn't clear it. Which I didn't think he would, but I didn't think he would play that. I've actually never seen that card before. It's going to be really annoying because he's going to keep healing every turn, and I can't clear it because it is stealth, so I can't target it with attacks or abilities. But the Wax Rager should clear things out a little bit, because he can't clear that either unless he sees a silence card. And Priest does have a lot of silence cards, but until he gets it, he's just gonna have to deal with the Wax Rager, so. And then while he's dealing with that, I've got all this ramp going on. I got this streams, and I've got the hero power, so he's got to deal with it while I figure out things on my end, and by then I shouldn't need the Wax Rager anymore. I'm not really sure why he's doing this. I guess he just wants more spells in his hand, but it really just seems like he's filling his hand with trash. I'm assuming he plays that in his main board. I don't think he discovered it in the bucket, but he could have. I've always not liked that card in decks like this, because once your deck hand is full, it's very difficult to empty it out. But I mean, he still didn't clear the Wax. Maybe that's what he was hoping for. A silence card or something like that. The main problem is it doesn't give you cards of your class, it just gives you a handful of spells. And they could be from your class. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I should ramp here or use the hero power. But I decided to go with the hero power because the ramp itself doesn't necessarily let me play anything, but the hero power lets me play an Ixia. Or not an Ixia, that's next turn. It lets me play Alexstrasza. So I can't play the Ixia, so I can't clear that yet. And he's still healing. But I can clear next turn. I can put the Wax Rager into it, and then just hope it works out. I guess we're gonna see what we draw. Let's see what we draw. I get the ramp from it too. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't need to worry about the damage because I have the Discover card that can heal me. And I probably should have done that first before playing this well, but whatever, that's fine. He's got a full hand, he's not able to deal with Wax Rager. I buffed my full hand, I ramped up to 10, discounted my hand. I'm in a very good position. And I can heal a good amount from that spell if I need to, which I probably will next turn. We'll see. Clear many minions, but not Wax Rager. I think he's thinking about attacking with that still. Okay, yep. He did it. So I can get rid of that now. Just, yeah, it healed by 2. So I can't clear it now. But I have a Field of Taunts, so that's fine. And it heals me 7 because it's a 7 cost in my deck, and then it gets discounted. And now I can play Ixia. Oh, this is a good turn. And I can finally clear this freaking heal, so he's not going to heal every turn going forward, and that's beautiful. This is probably the turning point here. Okay, so it kills everything, but it doesn't remove Wax Rager because he comes back, which I'm okay with. Obviously I would have liked to keep it, but this is really good. I can draw a lot of cards with that. But do I want to play that or Golem?
We must stop this corruption.
We'll see what we get first. I mean, these are cards. I don't think any of these are very good. I was tempted to do the Azure Drake, but I'll just do Kazakhstan. Yep. I'm gonna play this because Taunt, Reborn, big boy, 10-12, he can't target. Seems really reasonable. If he had an AoE silence, he probably would have used it by now on the Wax Rager, so I'm pretty confident in playing this. Just the threat of the Wax Rager never leaving is super, super relevant. So now I have to clean these up because these are gonna fill my board or his board, and he's gonna steal health from me every turn. Oh wait, no, I have lethal. I have lethal. It doesn't matter what he's doing to me, he's dead. Because Alexstrasza will set his health to 15, and I have 15 damage on the board. And I'll flex by playing this to show him I can heal. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta flex, you know, be like, yeah, I have extra over lethal. I can heal too. So that was Wax Rager the game. These all kind of suck. But this is a taunt minion? Like, I don't want Butch and I don't want Coin Pouch. And I also don't want the Loyal Sidekick. If I could pick none, I would. But I'll go with the Loyal Sidekick. He's got a discount, so he's a 2 mana. What do I have, like 8 wins? 2 mana, 8 or 9/9? Yeah, it's still pretty good. 2 mana, 9/9 with Taunt. I'll take it. Hopefully I never see it. But if I do see it, it's a 2 mana, 9/9 with Taunt, so. Relevant.
Versus Scarlet.
So usually Scarlet is
Looking
a blood
for a
death
fight?
knight.
You found one. Witness the ways of
The treasure
my
she usually
force.
picks is the weapon that says when she spends a corpse she heals that much for like up to 3, I think. When she spends up to 3 corpses she heals that much once per turn. I think it's once per turn. Usually you just use it with the hero power. It might just be when you spend any corpses. It's been a little bit since I played it. But her hero power is the best part. She can spend up to 3 corpses, and she discounts cards in her hand by that much at random.
What do we have here?
But I should have a pretty easy time. It's not an aggressive deck, and it's not fast enough to deal with a lot of my threats, especially because I'm drawing ramp again. I'm actually seeing ramp pretty consistently in this this run. It's going to be very hard for him to keep up with me. Okay, I need to deal with that. That's, I don't know why. Oh, I think he's got the... Yeah, so he's got the passive hero power where when he plays a spell, it plays a second copy at the end of the turn with targets randomly chosen. So the coin happened again at the end of the turn, but it doesn't matter because his turn was already over.
The more you struggle,
So we cleared the poison.
the better.
Because I don't want him summoning tons of poison minions, because that would actually make it really hard for any of my things to stick on the board, which would make it pretty easy for him to catch up. So that's gone now. So yeah, we'll just slap that down. It's going to be hard for him to remove it because of the elusive and the reborn. So we're just going for his face. We gotta end this quickly, so I don't want to drag it out, because the longer I drag it out, the more of a chance he has of actually closing the gap that I'm creating with the ramp. And he's a control deck, so I don't want to get to the point where he has 10 mana and can actually deal with all the threats. Because I didn't open Wax Rager this time, so I have to actually deal with him appropriately instead of just having a huge crutch. I mean, he didn't clear it, so I'm okay with that. I don't... Yeah, okay. I guess he was hoping that it would proc again at the end of the turn, like from the power, but it just played the Spyglass again. And I don't actually know what he got from Spyglass until he plays it, so that's fine. Ooh. Yeah, I'll just fill the board. Yeah. We'll buff my hand first, and then we'll play it. So now it's harder to deal with. And if he doesn't deal with it, he loses. I mean, I don't think that's relevant, but he's doing that. Alright, he got 2 dragons, and one of them was Splish Splash Whelp. Because I don't think he's playing any actual dragons himself. I think those are both copied from me. I guess they could both be Splish Splash Whelp. It's pretty likely because I had 2 in my hand. I don't know what he has that could clear this. I think he is playing Pure Blood, so he could have Corpse Explosion, but he's only got 1 corpse, so that wouldn't work. I don't think he has anything for 5 mana that can clear this. I think at 7 mana he can play Corpse Stealer, which destroys all minions and he gets a soul for each.
You now take mandible.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he can activate that'll deal with this board. I think he just loses. Yeah, that doesn't
Top little Death Knight.
I think he was better off not playing that. Because now his hero power... Okay, he still got there. He's lucky.
You are
But he still
growing
loses.
strong.
I guess at the end of the day, he just played it because he had no choice. There was nothing else he could do. So I guess I can't really fault him because he was going to lose anyway. So no harm. So yeah, we're probably just going to pick nothing. Because even though these are actually pretty decent dragon buckets, I think just not having more cards is the way to go. 10 wins, no losses. It's pretty darn good. We tend to start seeing a lot harder opponents at this point. It's because, again, you play people with the same score as much as possible, so I'm going to be playing with other people with 10 wins and no losses. So the longer I go without losing, the harder the opponents are, and then if I lose, I'll play someone with 1 loss, 2 losses, you know, until I'm eliminated at 3. But currently undefeated. Sometimes the tooltips are specific, you'll notice, but a lot of times it is generic Hearthstone tips like low-cost minions can be played more consistently. Okay, he's probably playing Hero Power Brann, which is a quest hunter. I don't know why this deck's so popular, but it is. It's pretty popular. I see it very, very frequently. It usually doesn't cause much of a problem because they don't have a lot of draw power. And as cool as the Hero Power is, it's basically the same as the regular Hunter one. You can target something and deal 1 damage to it, and then it deals 1 damage to your hero. The regular Hunter one is just deal 2 damage to the hero. And part of the quest is it lets you target the ability, so, which is something that this one already does. So the first part of the quest doesn't matter. So when he plays an arcane spell, he discovers a card from his class, which kind of helps with the quest. But as you can see, the first quest reward, and he has to spend his first turn playing the quest. It takes up a card too. And his first quest reward is nothing because he can already target minions with his hero power. So it's effectively worthless. At the end of it, I think it says every time he plays a spell, he refreshes his hero power. But that doesn't really matter because he's not going to have that many spells, I don't think. And he's got Wax Rager to deal with, so there's that. He's probably not going to be dealing with Wax Rager. I don't think there's anything in Hunter except Freezing Trap that can deal with it. And that just puts it in my hand and I have to play it again. I guess he's just going to shoot it repeatedly to get his quest, but I still don't see how that helps him. So I think we play Whelp and Hero Power. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not like super great, but it's the best use of my mana. And it still ramps me. Ramping's always good. I'll probably play the draw spell next turn. Probably the dragon one and not the Stone of Jordan. Although, if I need to clear something, the stone can be good. Yeah, see, he's not really doing a lot of damage. And now, mind you, if he gets a good draw spell, he might start doing a lot of damage, but I've got draw cards, I've got heal. Okay, so that might be played later on, but as a 4-mana card, it's a lot less good. So it didn't outright cancel it, but it did stop it from being played and make me put it back in my hand more expensive. Which is basically the same thing, because now I'm basically paying 6 mana for this card instead of split over turns instead of just playing it outright. And then yeah, I'm still got Wax Rager, and no matter what he does to it, unless he silences it, it's not going anywhere. And he's not even that much higher in health than I am. He's got really nothing to show for what he's been doing this whole game. He's got a bunch of skeletons. So yeah, we'll just go for a heal. Yep, it's gonna be pretty good for me. It's gonna be quite difficult for him to deal with what I've got here. Yeah, I'll take the draw. I'm not in a rush. I don't think he's dealing 36 damage anytime soon, especially not with the way he's been drawing. So that is like the one really good synergy with this hero power, because it says his next one does 2 extra, and that's for both points of damage. So it goes from dealing 2 to dealing 6. But I don't really feel like that one card is good enough to justify this whole deck existing, this hero power. And that was pretty good. That's just a free heal. Since I played it the turn I drew it, it immediately refunds itself, so it's literally a 0 mana heal. And now that I have a handful of dragons, I can fill the board up with dragons and actually just have lethal lined up with taunt. Oh, I can actually play the setting sun, so we'll do that. remove a minion, heal up. So now he's at lower health than me, has less cards than me, has less guys on board than me, and has, in general, in my opinion, a worse deck than me. It's going to be very, very difficult to come back from this. With only 7 mana. Okay, well, he did clear the board. Well, he cleared most of the board. He didn't clear Wax Raider, didn't clear the Setting Sun. And my hand gets buffed. And I'm still healing from attacking his face. And I drew another Dragon Golem, so... So yeah, we'll just play it after discounting our hand, as we do. We'll fill the board up once again, and play another heal. Can't go face, which would be great. I can go face with my hero, so that's good. Just the good old Stone of Jordan. Yeah, he's not in a great spot. Alright, so he's got card draw. But unless he draws, like, silencing spell, like the Wand of Disintegration or something like that. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. That does not cut it. He definitely just conceded, essentially. Yeah, he just showed me what he had.
That's how it's done.
He just showed me that he didn't have anything. We'll give him a heal. We'll heal him back up, you know? Show him that I had lethal anyway. No matter what his health was. He did the courtesy of showing me what he had. I'll return it. Well, this is pretty darn good. I don't think I've ever done this good in any hero. Never mind one that I almost never play. I've definitely never done them this well with the Dragon Druid. I think I might have got like 10 wins and then lost all of them, but I think we're just gonna go the tried and true nothing. Yeah, wow, 11 wins and no losses. So if we win this one, we're completely undefeated, which I've never done. I've gone 12 wins, but never completely undefeated. It's very difficult because, as you can see, things like a Wax Rager just hitting the board and not being removable can absolutely ruin a game. Or like some ridiculous OTK combo, which we've been very fortunate to not see any OTK decks, which is when they kill you in one turn with no interaction from you, or with very little interaction from you.
Witness the way.
Because I do a lot of setup in my first few turns. It gives them lots of time to do an OTK or set up for one themselves. We got the coin though, that's pretty good. I'd rather have the coin than go first in general, because of all the ramp and stuff. And it gives me extra cards in hand, which is always nice. Again, because I can feel free to ramp without having to play as much card draw. And I open Wax Rager, so you know, that's probably how this round is gonna go. This is looking really good for me. So yeah, we'll play the Whelp, just because if they kill it, bust my hand, and of course it does 1 damage, so I don't know why they would kill it. He did use the bubble blower, so he's overloaded this turn. He's doing it again, so it's gonna be overloaded next turn too. It's not looking like he's doing so hot, and now I got Wax Rager, so I'm pretty good spot. He can get Shaman minions that can deal with this or spells. Okay, so he's gonna freeze it. But not this turn, because he's out of mana from overloading. So yeah, we'll go for ramp, and now I can do the Nest Matron thing where if I play it, I'll refresh my mana.
Stay alert, my
So we're back to 4, and then I can play this and discover a dragon now. Or I can play a draw? Yeah, we'll do a draw. I'm, again, not very worried because I have my Wax Rager, but he is going to probably freeze it this turn because he got that spell from that guy. Alright, well, he's trying to stem the bleeding. did freeze it, so I don't get to attack with it for free next turn, but it's not specifically very helpful to him to have it on the board like that. I'll probably just clear that with my face.
Room to grow.
Again, I got plenty of health and I got a Wax Rager, and this is doing a lot of work just by existing, so gives me a lot of setup time to...
Easier to draw.
I mean, that could be a problem. It can give things Divine Shield and Rush, but he didn't actually play anything weak enough to get the buff, so I don't particularly know why he's playing. I guess he was emptying his hand out. I don't know. This is pretty good though. So I don't actually need to care about anything he's playing because he has to clear this. And normally I would just use the Wax Rage to clear it, but he has to clear the entire board this turn. Because I do have lethal currently. Alright, well, he didn't clear anything, so he just stalled for a turn, which is fine. Again, I have plenty I can do. My hand isn't full. I can just discount my hand and give him another turn. And then I'll have lethal this turn. I feel like he's got something. He seems really hesitant, so I don't really know what he has. Maybe he doesn't have anything. I think that can clear the board? No, it does not clear the board. Alright, well, he's not dying this turn. So there's that. I'm just not yeah, I'm just not gonna play that. That's not what I need to do. I don't actually need to care about that.
We must stop this.
I probably just get the promo Drake and trade it because it's got tradable, which means I can pay 1 mana, put it in my deck, and draw another card. But it's got good stats. I'm stuck with it in my hand later on. So yeah, I'll just get rid of that. See what I get. That would be great if I could play it, but whatever.
Too many.
I'm not in a position to complain.
Oh, bother.
Do try to keep yourself.
Alright, that will clear everything but Wax Rager if he does damage. It has Rush, so... Yep, okay. Alright. That's fine. Alright, he's got 2 taunt minions. I don't actually know why they were 5 mana. I didn't catch that. So we can clear one of them like that, and I could probably clear the other one, but we don't need to, that's fine. Yeah, some of the promo tree. Yeah, we'll grab that. Maybe I'll get a dream off of it or something that can get rid of minions next turn. I don't think I'll play it, but it's probably better than picking promo Drake a second time, since I just trade them away and don't actually keep them. That's an 8/10 elusive, which is very difficult to clear. So far, I don't think anyone's actually cleared them when I played them. It ended up being a pretty good pick with the discount and the hand buff from the Dragon Blood. Dragon Blood really came in pretty handy this round. Hey, he's got one too! Unfortunately for him, I got the Krusty the Crustacean. He's gonna heal. Well, he's alive again. It's just basically just a back and forth with him just trying to survive. He's not gaining any ground at any point yet.
A red sun rises.
I think he's just trying to keep his hand light. So yeah, I'm gonna break this down with Krusty and I'll gain its stats. That's a very, very, very strong minion. So he's once again in lethal range. I can't heal my guy because I can't target it with my spells either. not just him, so that's fine. I'll just leave it as is. Get that ready so I can swing that if I need to. I'll just do it now. There's no reason to hold on. I still have the extra swing, so got 1 extra durability. So now he's at 9, which I think if he clears this whole board, I can Wax Rager for 5, swing, and then I can shoot with Reno for 2. I think that gets me there. We'll find out, I guess. Hopefully it just doesn't clear it, then I can swing at him, and then I win. But I think he has something. Oh, okay, so here's the Shutter Walk. That's usually why you play this deck. So that one was particularly bad, just taking 2 damage. Alright, alright. No, I don't like that. Oh, he messed up. He messed up. Oh, it's not frozen now. Oh, he loses. Oh! Wow! He could have stalled for so long, but because he got greedy and he cleared that one specific minion, I was able to attack him for game. Oh, that felt so good. That's the first time I got in the Reborn, I'm pretty sure. And that minion was really good for one that just got thrown into a bucket. And yeah, you can see that I got some pretty good rewards. So, thanks a lot for watching, and tune in for the rest of the series.